You're listening to Synchronize Swatches. We got a little something different this time. We're going to be taking a quick hiatus while I get all my shit together and move halfway across the country. So our regular episode that you would be listening to today will not air until June 9th. That's when we'll be back. But in the interim, we did a little bonus episode. We interviewed our friend Paul Kautz. He is the voice of our German episode title reads. But we actually got to see him face-to-face via the wonders of technology, and we had a wonderful interview with him, a wonderful conversation with him, and he kind of shared his insights on his experience with Parker Lewis in growing up in Germany.
Yeah, it was a really interesting conversation. It was nice to talk to him and get his perspective as somebody outside this country on this show that we've been watching. Yeah, so that episode's going to be coming up right after we finish talking here, and then the next regular release date there won't be a new episode at that point. But as Chip said, on the 9th of June we'll come back with episode 13. You said,
and we'll be back and running.
Yeah, because we're about halfway through, so. We're just going to take a little hiatus. And in the meantime, if anybody who's following the social media accounts, we're going to probably start putting in some of our favorite greatest hits.
Greatest hits. Best of. A clip show.
Some of our favorite. Yeah, we're going to break out the clip show. And instead of having reels from the, daily reels from the episode we're reviewing, we're going to retread some of our favorite reels featuring the podcast, and maybe that'll actually get a few more people to realize that this is an actual podcast and not just an account that posts Parker Lewis clips.
That's true.
Because I'm still not convinced that most people don't
realize.
Yeah. Most people say it like, Parker Lewis, and they don't read the shit at the bottom about, it's a rewatch podcast. There's other content.
We're funny too. We say things.
Yeah. Who cares? Show me more of the episode. So we will continue to post to the social media accounts in the meantime for anybody who relies on those on a daily basis to set their watch, to set their swatch. You'll continue to be able to do so. And hopefully when we come back, Chip will have a new background behind him. Yep. He'll be refreshed from a long trip, as you usually are, relaxed and refreshed from driving 3 days and
1,600 miles.
Yeah. After having packed, then unpacking in a new location you're unfamiliar with.
Yes. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. The first thing you think of, I got to get on camera and podcast. So, so we're all looking forward to that. But of course, no one's going to see that for like 3 months because the episode we record at that point probably won't come out until September. So.
Yes, this is true.
So anyway, stick with us.
Great things in store. We'll be back on June 9th, guys. And until then, enjoy this interview with our friend Paul.
Gentlemen, synchronize swatches. Not a problem.
So we have a very special guest for this bonus episode. You may not know his face, but you know his voice. It's Paul Kautz. He's the voice of our German title pronunciations because we suck at it.
Yeah, specifically, I suck at it.
Well, you're still better than me, but I don't even try. So Paul, welcome to our humble little podcast. It is so great to actually put a face to the voice, and we really appreciate you taking the time to do all those recordings for us, man. It's been very helpful.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I feel honored, and to be honest, you didn't do that bad of a job, actually. It's just I'm very pedantic, and I like to know people about it, so. Yeah,
sorry. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't have to cushion it for Chris. He knows.
Yeah. I only took German in middle school, high school, college. I took it for years, and
a chose.
I have nothing to show for it except handing it off to a native speaker. So that's good.
No, it is my great pleasure. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I appreciate it.
And speaking of the recordings you've done for, I mean, they sound very professional, man. And I can see you got a pretty nice setup there. Tell us what you got as far as your mic setup and your studio there.
Yeah, my studio, this is just my office. I mean, no, I've got some okayish recording equipment here because I do a lot of retro gaming related podcasts myself.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, most of them in German, so I'm really not sure how much help the name would be. But yeah, so at some time ago, I invested a bit in podcast equipment. So
nice.
I'm prepared to have my voice carried around the waves.
Yes, no, that's great. Now, like I say, when you sent the Google folder with all the WAV files and I downloaded it, I was like, oh, this shit sounds like clean and crisp, man. It was really well done.
Thank you.
What retro games are you? I mean, what systems and what era? I mean, I assume probably the same ones we're familiar with. We seem to all be around the same age, but what are you covering over there?
If you can see it, I mean, maybe I don't know if my camera's fidelity is high enough, but I'm a big 90s fan, obviously, and I grew up with PC gaming in the 90s, especially. So my favorite company from that time is Origin Systems.
Okay.
So I love pretty much everything they got. BioForge, Wing Commander, Strike Commander, later on System Shock, even the Ultima games, even though I'm not quite a big role-playing gamer myself. And I mean, I've got a couple more boxes over here. So PC gaming of the 90s, that was pretty much my joint. Later on, there were some consoles and obviously handhelds like the Game Boy, which defined my youth just as much as Parker Lewis did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very much the 90s, and so I write a lot about this particular area for magazines like Retro Gamer. I don't know if you're familiar with it in over the pond. It's a British magazine which has also a German issues coming out, which are from a different editor-in-chief, and so I covered those. So I'm very much active in the German-speaking retro gaming scene there.
Dude, that's
and
awesome.
also podcaster.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it keeps me busy and off the streets, you know.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I saw the Doom poster back there on the door. So
oh yeah.
I recognize that one.
Yeah, that's just a big classic. That there's no just two ways about it, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot where you said you were from. Where did you say you were from originally and living now?
Originally, I grew up in the eastern part of Germany. So
Okay.
I'm from the southeast of Germany. So I grew up behind the Iron Curtain.
Okay.
And pretty much after the Iron Curtain fell, I came in contact with Parker Lewis. So
Yeah.
that was it for me then. But yeah, at the end of the 90s, I moved down to the south, to Munich and its surrounding area. And in 2006, now that I think about it, it's pretty much, it's exactly 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, we moved to the other end of Germany. So right now I'm hailing from the northern part. We are in the very near vicinity of Hamburg.
Okay.
So
okay.
which is in the north, in the rainy north.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Munich. I grew up I was born in Augsburg, but then when we went back there when I was in middle school, we lived near Hohenfels in Bavaria, and we would travel. I don't know. See, Hohenfels is like a bigger name for like Americans because it's a very large base, but it's a very small village next to it, you know. But I went to middle school in Regensburg, and then we visited Munich a lot. I remember visiting Munich and Nuremberg quite a bit when I was in middle school. But
that is cool.
I enjoyed Bavaria. Yeah.
How many years were you there?
Was there for 5 years, from 1990 to 95 before I moved here. So my experience with Parker Lewis originally was also German tinged. But we're not here to talk about my stupid experience. What was your experience with Parker Lewis? Tell us about how you picked up that show.
It's actually difficult to say. I've spent quite some time now to think about that, and I can't recall with certainty, but obviously the series started a bit later in Germany than in the US, 3 years to be precise. So it was in its third season in the US already when it started being sent out here in Germany. And back then, in 1993, I mean, I was 16 back then. So I was in my last year of Oberschule, also German high school. So very impressionable and pretty much in the same situation as Parker and Mikey in the same age. And I was an avid reader of Bravo, which was a really, really huge teenager magazine back then, which covered all of the bases, music, television shows, films, etc. And I'm pretty sure that they covered Parker Lewis as well. So I guess they introduced it to their readers. And I must have picked it up then, and afterwards it was I watched it religiously on a weekly basis on Pro7. And yeah, that was my first contact with that, and it left a lasting impression. So I mean, you cannot see it now because I wear my hair slightly shorter than them. Yeah, but I mean, it had such a huge impact on my wardrobe, on the kind, on my humor, on even my hairstyle back then. Particularly Mikey. He was a very formative character for me. Not too long after starting watching Parker Lewis, I started playing guitar. So the episode that you covered just a few weeks ago, the one where Mikey gets almost bent over by Sonny Bono, the one where he records this song. I've listened to this episode and this song like a million times. It was one of the motivations for me to actually learn to play guitar. I've known you all of my life. I think to this day it's a really great song. It was a really big impact back then for me, but actually after the second season it started fading out, obviously in quality. Unfortunately, you've had wonderful guests on your show who explained why this happened, which is a huge bummer. And afterwards, the series was always on my mind here and there, but I've never actually watched it. And I have to thank you guys to find the motivation to actually watch it again. It was, I had no idea that Parker Lewis was available on Blu-ray. I mean, the quality on the Blu-ray is horrible, to be honest.
Yeah. It's horrible. It's not Blu-ray. It's like they just took a horrible SD version and put it on Blu-ray, just like because they could fit it all on one disc. You know?
It's terrible. I'm pretty sure that all my VHS tapes from back then had a better quality than this.
Probably, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's still. I started watching it, and all these memories, all these flashbacks, that just came on rushing back. It was really nice, and combined with your episodes, it was it still is a really great experience to relive something that I started watching 30-something years ago.
It's been interesting I think to both of us as well to rewatch it again, because as big of fans as we are, I haven't watched episodes of this show in probably just as long. I mean, it was, we had talked about it, but it was on in syndication when we were in high school, so we could watch it on USA Network or whatever. But getting a hold of it, unless you bought it, getting a hold of it was hard to get a hold of. So being able to go back now and watch it again, it's been an interesting experience to relive that, from in your 40s, go back and look at this comedy that informed, like you said, I think, it informed our senses of humor as well. So it's been very enriching, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, it's slightly weird for me to think. I mean, right now I'm 49 years old. So, and I started watching this when I was 16. So, building this bridge to this particular past, it's really nice because it doesn't just bring back memories of the series back then. It also brings back to who I was back then and what kind of life I had back then, of life. So, it's enriching is a perfect word for that. So it's really an enriching experience.
Yeah, and like you say, like it brings you back to. I mean, it brings me back to. Yeah, I guess it's like high school, like pretty much like when I met Chris, because like he just moved to Hampton Roads where I lived, And that was, I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, but it was one of the bonding things for Chris and I, is like we both love playing music and wanted to play music. We love music, but also we just love Parker Lewis and the just ridiculous nature of that show, and that's what drew us together. And I want to say, like, was it my junior year, your sophomore year, or maybe my senior year? But I remember like the whole summer we would just like, I remember waking up watching like 2 episodes of Parker Lewis in the morning on USA in syndication, and then we would just go be mall rats for the rest of the day or something.
Yep, pretty much.
I mean, it's definitely like a snippet of time, where you would just you would hang out at the mall, like it's just what you did.
Yeah,
it's probably what you did. For me, it was a really completely new experience, because back then in the eastern part of Germany, in Chemnitz, where I grew up, we didn't have a mall. We had we had shopping centers, obviously, but the concept of a mall was completely foreign to me. So this one episode where Parker gets chased by that cop in the mall.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really difficult to imagine for me what this could be all about. I mean, obviously capitalism caught up to us.
Yeah.
The series introduced me to concepts like these, or several other things as well.
Would you say that, I mean, given the time frame and everything, was it one of your first exposures to like teenage American culture, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely. It may even be the first one, because before that I was watching pretty much children's television in Eastern Germany. We had 2 TV stations, DDR1 and DDR2, and I clearly remember a lot of Soviet-based cartoon series, Volke Seitz, the Hare and the Wolf. Which pretty much defined my childhood. And afterwards, I mean, after the Berlin Wall fell, I think it didn't take long for private for cable TV to get a hold in Germany. So I was in contact with cartoon series like Inspector Gadget and Tom and Jerry and something like this. But teenager series, Parker Lewis actually must have been something, one of the first that actually spoke my particular language, from people who were supposedly my age. I mean, I guess Pornemic was 16 plus, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. It's interesting to think about this particular show being someone's first exposure to that type of culture. Must be. I don't know if that's the best representation of. But who knows? Whatever.
It worked for me. I mean, I guess I could have watched different shows, but then I would have worn slightly less colorful clothes, probably.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, everything worked out in the end, It had a great influence and good on fans.
It would be like a very intense dose of 80s culture if what Abe was saying is true, that it was, he described it as like a remix of 80s American culture, teenage culture, because of who was making it at that time. So I guess it could be like a very intense infusion of culture in the 70s and 80s in the U.S., teen culture. So I'm glad you weren't overwhelmed by it. Because it's a lot, I mean.
Yeah.
You guys were dangerous dudes, huh?
Kind of curious, like, how did the portrayal of high school in this show relate at all, or did it relate at all to your experience in high school in Germany? Was it one for one, or was it completely, what is this nonsense?
No, I couldn't relate at all. I mean, obviously, there were people my age which spoke to me, but just the concept of the closet, you close it and you just lock it with this kind of turny, knobby thingy.
The locker combo, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this with my own eyes in my whole life to this day. So I've never visited an American high school. Is this really something that exists, or is this just something that
lockers?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was in every high school. So what did you like? What did you guys do? Did you have a place where you kept your books and stuff, or you just always have your books with you?
You just carried them everywhere.
Exactly.
So we had lockers. Like everybody was assigned a locker. You keep all your shit in, you know. So you didn't always have to have it with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in between classes, you go. I'm like, oh, I got to go my math book and go get your math book out and lock it back up. Yeah.
And bullshit with people, just like on the show. Like it would be, people would collect around lockers and BS and talk shit and sometimes get stuffed into them.
that is another thing. I mean, there are so many series out there who tells us that the jocks always stuff the nerds into the lockers. And I mean, is that really true? Did that happen?
I mean, I don't know, man. I wasn't a nerd, man.
I got you. Yeah.
I never got stuffed into
I never actually saw it with my own eyes, but I know it's happened. I know it has happened. Yeah.
Yeah. The place I went to when I was in ninth grade, when I was that American school there, we had top and bottom lockers, so it wasn't like the full size lockers. And because I was a freshman, a ninth grader, I got stuck with a bottom locker, and the guys above me all the people around me were seniors. I was in the senior hallway, so I had all these grown-ups, basically, these adults around me, and they didn't ever stuff me in the locker, but they didn't hesitate to, like, drive a knee into my back or knock me over when I'm squatting down getting my books, you know? It's just I don't think about it every day or anything, guys. It hasn't scarred me for life, but...
Not at all. Not at all. Conscience.
I got to go lay down for a little while. It's interesting, actually. They've stopped. I don't know if this is like nationwide, but around here they've actually stopped using the lockers. They stopped using them during COVID when the kids went back after COVID. I have no idea why that is exactly, but even now, years later, they still carry all their stuff on their back. So they're living the German high school experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Nowadays over here, but yeah,
that's weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I believe it's pretty much the same. I mean, sorry, my daughter's 11 years old now, and she most of the days carries a full backpack to the school. So this whole locker concept, I believe it. There may be some lockers out there, but not in the schools that I haven't caught up with.
Interesting, yeah.
We don't believe in locking away things. We just have to have all of our stuff always with us, clutching our pearls.
Yeah. That way no one can take it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the German way of doing things.
It's mine. Yeah, I guess it never even occurred to me that maybe other places don't use lockers. Like it seemed like such a natural concept, like because we just grew up with it, like that, you don't really need lockers, but
yeah.
Yeah, other concepts in the show. I remember the first episode with Dr. Pankow there, and there was this whole detention kind of thing. I mean, obviously, in Germany, in the school I went when I was little, there was Nachsitzen. So it's when you did some shit, obviously you had to spend some time in your classroom doing chores. But there's this whole being locked up kind of thing. I hope that's just a bit over the top.
Yeah.
It might be slightly exaggerated.
It's exaggerated, yeah. No, it's probably similar to what you guys had. Like if you fucked up, then you'd have to stay after the class is gone, you'd stay, and I mean, old school, like probably before our times, you have to clean the erasers or whatever. That was like one of the punishments. But I think by the time we came about, detention was like, you just had to stay after school and just sit there. Like, I don't know if they even gave you any tasks. You just had to sit there and wait.
Yeah. It was literally detention. Like, they detained you for
They just detained you, and you just have to sit there and wait till, half hour. How long was detention? Do you remember, Chris?
How long?
Yeah, like how long did you have to stay there for?
Probably
half hour,
15 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't like super long, but...
As a kid, it seems like so massive. Like, such a horrible thing. It's like, I have to remain for 15 minutes. Whatever.
Yeah.
Get used to being bored out of your mind.
Yeah. Sit here and stare at the wall for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the closest thing they have to the detention depicted on the show is like in-school suspension. That's about it. Where you're not actually suspended from the school. You have to stay in a classroom.
Separate room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you I guess you work at a computer or at a desk or whatever, and you do classwork, but you're not with the other students. But it's, there's no gangs in there. There's no graffiti. There's no padlocks on the door and bars on the window.
You're ruining everything now.
Oh, sorry. It's
happening?
exactly like that show. Parker Lewis is a documentary.
Thank you for saying that. It's just, for a moment there, I was shaking in my boots.
Yeah, I don't want to dispel anything here. Did you happen to see the, I don't know if we've aired, it's the one that we're showing now that's up now, is the one that has the Musso scream that travels across the Atlantic. I think you were telling us actually that it was that they changed the accent of the Hausfrau that appears.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to me because I've never really thought of, I don't know why, because I'm ignorant, I guess. I never really thought about accents in foreign languages because, you hear, I don't know. I feel stupid even saying that, but I never really considered the fact that, like, they would have had separate accents for different regions,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that they decided to use a different one.
Yeah, so what was the story on that?
In this episode, Miss Musso was screaming so loud that over across the pond, some German Hausfrau had her window explode in front of her.
Yeah.
And in English, she's saying, Gott im Himmel, Fräulein Musso. With obviously she doesn't speak German, so you hear it exactly. But in German, she's doing the exact same thing, but Gott im Himmel, Fräulein Musso. And it's really, really exaggerated and with a very thick Bavarian accent, which fits obviously the theme of the scene perfectly.
I guess.
So I like it very much. And this is actually something that was reignited in my brain the second I saw it. I knew exactly what she was going to say before she was saying it. This memory came back from over 30 years ago. And damn it, it's so much brain space. It's just blocked by Parker Lewis things.
Yeah. It's crazy the stuff that we, in our formative years, early teens, pretty much our teenhood, the things that we experienced there, we could see it one time, and it's just ingrained somewhere in the back of their head, and we could see it 20 years later, having only seen it once. Yeah, and it's just like indelible in the back of our heads, and it comes back. Whereas stuff I did, last month, I can't even fucking remember.
Yeah, but the thing that I hope is really true is that all of these things from the 90s will be completely useful in like 20 years.
Of course.
So it's really good to hold on to them,
Very important information.
Yeah. That'll help solve some major problem.
No, it's really weird, but it's just so much fun to me to actually to rewatch it. I mean, we are getting toward the ends of the second seasons, which means that the third season is actually on the horizon. So I'm not particularly looking forward to that. But
I don't think
Did you watch the third season? Do you remember watching the third season at all?
Only bits and pieces. I have this very strong impression in the back of my brain that it was bad. And very different from the first two seasons, and not least, I mean, in Parker Lewis's hairstyle. So the second he lost the hairdo and just parted his hair, it's just what's happening here?
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously he wore the same thing in the pilot, but the pilot is just for experimenting.
Right.
It doesn't really count.
Yeah. I think when we were watching it, like in syndication in the mid to late 90s, I want to say only season 1 and season 2 were in syndication. So we had very little exposure to season 3. I think eventually it did get into syndication, and it's because there are some episodes that I'm randomly watching now that I'm like, oh, I kind of remember this. But it is nowhere as entrenched in my brain as season 1 and season 2. Season 1, season 2, like I some of these episodes, like you say, I haven't seen them in years, and like it just instantly, like I can almost repeat what they're gonna say. But season 3 is just like, oh, this seems kind of familiar. I kind of remember, because they take away Jerry's jacket, which is like, why would you take away Jerry's jacket? and they add some new characters, and it's just a weird vibe. I did watch one episode. It was kind of a Marty heavy, so Timothy Stack. It was kind of a heavy episode with him. He had a lot of, he was featured in it. That one wasn't, I was kind of afraid it was going to be horrible, but it wasn't too bad. So there's some hope. There is a little bit of hope for season 3, but it just feels like a different show, really, unfortunately.
Yeah. It really might be that in my mind, with many years of hindsight, it's just built up in the brain. There's this horrible episode, burn it with fire.
Yeah,
and it's probably not that bad actually.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm hoping.
We'll see. Well, yeah. We'll be embarking on that in a few months.
Yeah. Hopefully we can bring a little juice to it or something. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to do something. We don't want to spend the entire year we're reviewing it taking a dump on it or anything, but like, you know, if we can extract anything out of it.
Try to find the silver lining.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff, the bits that I've watched, the couple of episodes I've watched, it just seems like a diminished show. It's just not a, you know, even just looking at it, it's just, you know, this isn't a very good show, even if it wasn't Parker Lewis, you know.
Yeah, and they just took away all the stuff that made it great, you know, like you take everything that makes something great, you take that away, and you're just left with the kind of a shell of something. And
it's probably the same thing as it was with the original Star Trek showing. You know, the first 2 seasons of TOS, they were really great, and then the budget was slashed, and they had to do things like Spock's brain.
Yeah. So. That's right. I can see you're a Star Trek fan. Do you notice the I notice the guest stars on Parker Lewis like all the time that are from TNG or whatever or Deep Space Nine. I'm always like, hey, that guy. I try to point it out when I can, but I don't want to become repetitive. But
I guess it was the time when pretty much particularly Next Generation, it was a really, really big melting pot of all of the actors of the time. So many people who were doing so many things, so many shows, soap operas, etc. They were all in Next Generation. So obviously they had to pop up every now and then in Parker Lewis as well.
Yeah. And we even in season 2 we've started seeing Rob Bowman pop up as the director, and he directed a bunch of Next Generation as well. So there's even crew crossover there, which is pretty cool. So I'll be continuing to point it out and annoying everybody.
Chris is our resident Star Trek or Trekkie.
Excellent.
Yes, that's exactly. Thank you. Do it, Chip. You do it too.
I'm the outcast. No, I mean, I the Next Generation, that was my show because that definitely came out again in my formative years. So like I watched a lot of Next Generation, but I haven't watched it probably since it was on in the 90s. So like I'm a bit out of touch with the Star Trek references, but.
So there you have your project, once the Parker Lewis is done.
I got homework.
Right.
The TNG rewatch show.
Oh my God, there's a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
We had this for a decade.
That's going to keep you busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't figured out what show we would tackle next. We had mentioned A-Team.
Yeah, we were talking about the A-Team.
I've got the whole series of that, and I've been like randomly watching some of those, and some of those did not age well. Did you ever the A-Team? Did you ever watch the A-Team?
Yeah. I remember, and this is pretty much my only critique of the show. Isn't every single episode the exact same thing?
Oh yeah, it's formulaic as hell. Yeah.
So that's not going to be the most interesting podcast of all time, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to pick apart, I think. Make fun because there was always car wrecks, like cars flipping over, but then they would always make sure they show you the people crawling out of the car alive. Like they didn't die, nobody was hurt.
There was a lot of shooting, and I remember nobody ever died from shooting.
Nobody ever got hit. Yeah.
It's like the old G.I. Joe cartoon where they'd always be shooting down aircraft, but then you'd see every single time the pilot would parachute out.
Parachute, yeah.
Like no one ever died.
Just to let you know, nobody died. Nobody died.
This aggressive military cartoon.
Oh man. Oh, the 80s.
Yeah, weird times. I mean, this is also something that I watched back then with very, very much enthusiasm. A-Team, Knight Rider, Street Hawk, Airwolf, obviously.
Oh, Airwolf. Oh, yeah.
It's a helicopter that shoots things. What's not to like? So. But also, I believe nobody ever died over there in any of these shows.
I mean, it was just that was the nature of TV in the 80s, like the censorship or whatever you want to call it, like the regulations of what you could put on broadcast television was very strict. So you could show very little blood. You can never show anybody dying, like there was just all these. So like, probably, if you shoot the A-Team today, like people be dying all over the place. But it was just at the time, they're like, well, we just like, we're going to flip a car, but we got to make sure they show they're alive so that the FCC doesn't come after us.
It may have been the time of day too. Like, I mean, they may have the shows after 9 o'clock. They might have been able to put something like that on, but
a little more risky,
early prime time stuff. Because I'm pretty sure I saw Hunter shoot somebody in the face one time. So I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you ever saw the show Hunter. That dude had a big gun.
I remember Hunter.
Just flipped off.
He dodged it.
Shoot him in the face,
like you do.
I know a commercial break is a long time, but you've got to try and remember.
As far as music, what was your, like you say, Parker Lewis and the Mikey stuff was definitely kind of like an intro to you getting into music. But like from there, where did you jump off to as far as the type of music you listen to, and what did you have access to in like the mid '90s?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big techno kid.
I mean, it makes sense from where you're at. Yeah.
That's what I associate techno with is Germany.
It was so big over here. So I mean, obviously, we had to endure Eurodance and the likes also, but things like techno, there was so much here, and with artists like Westbam or Perplexer, Raver's Nature, and the likes. So most of these names are completely forgotten by now, even though I believe Westbam is still very much active.
Oh wow!
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of thumping beats, and I remember when I got my first car, the most important thing to me was that it had a really good sound system. Everything else was just fine. Yeah. 4 wheels. Okay. But look at the size of these speakers. That was really formative. And the first time I heard the Prodigy, it's just my mind was completely blown away. Yeah. But now that I'm slightly older and more mature and wiser, obviously I very much appreciate all the slightly quieter things. I mean, you see more acoustic guitars than electrical guitars here. So it's gotten a bit quieter over here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But so, I mean, that's interesting. So like, of course you were big into techno, but you were also were you at that time learning to play guitar?
Yeah.
What would inform your learning on guitar as far as music? Because techno, of course, is no guitars at all, right?
Yeah. So, there's this guitar in Voodoo People, Prodigy, and Firestarter as well.
Okay,
there's
true.
This particular riff.
Yeah.
So but it's really not that difficult to learn.
Yeah.
My musical taste was always quite diverse, and my sister very early on. I have a sister that's 3 years my senior, and she introduced me to bands like Depeche Mode, who had also a very strong influence on my musical taste, and. Once I picked up the guitar and tried to do things that did not completely ruin my fingers. It's so weird. Nobody tells you that when you start playing the guitar, it just hurts so much.
Yeah, tears them up. Tears your fingers up. Yeah.
Just a quick sideline here. I mean, when my daughter was born, I had no time, obviously, playing the guitar. So I never touched it for many years. And then when you start playing it again, it's just as if you never played the guitar in the first place. It's just everything is gone and everything hurts again.
Yeah. It's like starting from scratch. Unfortunately, I'm that way right now. I've got my acoustic in the other room, and I haven't played it. I mean, I've been messing with keyboards for the past couple years, and like barely touched my acoustic. Haven't touched my electric at all, But like I sat down about a week ago and just to noodle around, like, oh my god,
It's bad. I mean, it gets better. It gets better. But the first time touching it again, it's just so painful.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta build those calluses back.
Yeah.
Gotta get those calluses.
Yeah, so I gotta get back on that, but I was like, oh, I can't do this right now.
It takes a lot of work, though.
Keyboard's easier on my fingers.
This is very sad, fellas.
I know.
Guitar, hold me.
Ow!
My hands hurt too much to rock right now.
Yeah, I'm not willing to suffer for my art anymore.
That's what Mikey said the whole time, you know? It's just, I clearly remember the episode when he said, no, rock and roll is really bad for you because everything hurts. So, no, let's just keep on singing, not doing everything else.
Oh,
no.
man.
But to actually answer your question, the mid-90s were also my very first contact with the wonders of the internet.
Yes.
And actually then I've quickly discovered pages like, God, what was it called? I think Guitar Pro or something like this, where you could actually download and print out guitar tabs quite easily.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I've downloaded pretty much everything and started playing. So the first time I was actually able to play Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, I felt just like the king of the world. I mean, the intro is actually the simplest thing you can play on a guitar, but when you just sit down and, oh yeah, who wants to touch me?
Yeah.
It's just,
Wants to touch me.
Oh, yeah, printing off guitar tablature, man, that is like so... mid to late 90s.
Yeah,
absolutely. I still have it in a box somewhere on the attic. My big bad archive. I printed out guitar tabs.
That's great.
I know that well. I know it well.
Something for my daughter to look forward to.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "What is this?"
Yeah. She's like, I'm just gonna look at it on my phone. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
What is this paper?
It's a whole inheritance. I've got nothing else.
Oh, man.
Of course, there's Gatorade.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you, dude.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you very much
great.
for having me.
Thanks for everything you've been doing for us, too. I mean, we've referenced you a number of times on the podcast. It's great to actually talk to you and see you. And you brought a lot to this thing that we've been doing, just with your assistance, and it's been unsolicited. So we really appreciate that. It's just very generous of you.
My great pleasure. Thank you very much for appreciating it. It's just, whenever I can help, please just let me know. It's my honor.
My friend Jerry said you guys were going to do something really neat today.
Jocks always stuff the nerds into the lockers.